It's a film which goes with our new single, which is about... this video follows the song. It's about political repression, it's about violence. You know, I mean, we're not trying to dress it up and trying to sell the record with, you know, advertising cliches. We wanted to make something that was about the song.
But surely doing that kind of thing, we've all seen the real atrocities of what terrorists do in South America. Yes, you see them every night in the news. I mean, I think we're all quite familiar with them.
What's the fuss about then?
Well, the fuss is about this. Is that Julien? The fuss is exactly this. That is a video for your single. There's a great guitar riff over all these awful shootings. I mean, doesn't that glamorise it and doesn't it lessen the atrocities that happen in real life?
Let me tell you that, you know, the average kid in America, when he gets to the age of 21, has seen 65,000 killings on TV. And that devalues the meaning of a killing. It makes people immune to it. And if we'd made a documentary for 6 weeks in El Salvador, all the kids in America or wherever they were seeing this would turn it off. This film is about the lyrics of the song, which are about what's happening in so-called parts of the civilized world.
So would you prefer then, when the kids see the killings on television, to go, instead of going, oh my God, that's horrific, they go, oh, that's just like the Stones video?
No, I prefer them to think about it. And if you look at the video, it's based around two kids watching MTV, and there's an argument between the two kids. The guy wants to turn it off and go on with making out on the sofa. The girl actually sees something interesting happening, and you know, that is at the heart of the problem. They are actually saying, the film is saying, how do you react to seeing this kind of thing? Are you immune to it, or do you think about it?
See, so you're actually trying to make a gutsy song, but isn't it a gutsy enough song without having to resort to the kind of violence that we see in this film? Mick, don't you actually see that it could be in danger of glamorising violence rather than saying something about it? You must actually see that that's a possibility.
No, we never showed slow
motion. There's no kind of gratuitous violence in it at all. There's no slow motion. We're not trying to glamorise violence. We're trying to make a point as the song is making a point. We're trying to make a point here. We're not trying to create a scandal in the newspapers and things like that. It's not particularly violent compared to what you see on TV. I mean, it just isn't. I mean, you see, we're talking about news, we're talking about films. It's not particularly violent. I don't think you should go over. People call it in the press a video nasty. And have you ever seen a video nasty? I'm sure even you that just watched it would agree it's not.
Well, look, Mick, for instance, the bit we're talking about, the execution from the gun, if you actually saw that in real life, and we all have seen, like, for instance, the very famous shot from Vietnam of the journalist being shot, murder isn't usually accompanied by fantastic guitar music. It's usually gurgles and screams, and it's very unpleasant. Why do you think they've banned it? Surely you're not naive enough when you made it to realise that all the TV companies, they would ban it. That's pretty obvious.
Well, no, it's not true. This is the only country, as far as we know, in the world that's banned it so far. It's being shown on, you mentioned MTV earlier in your programme. It's being shown on one of the biggest networks. It's being shown on all of those. NBC, we all have our problems. NBC are worried about the Holiday Inn sign, and you're worried about the violence. No, all the other countries are showing it. This is the only one that isn't, so...
You know, there are a lot of videos that look like outcuts of Bacardi rum adverts, and if kids are forced to watch that all the time, that's violent to me.
But we're trying to make something that's interesting and new, has a valid point. We're not trying to make wimpy pop music. We're not trying to make la love songs, though I love to do those from time to time. This song was a political song, is a political song, and we think that this is the best kind of thing to go with it.